Hey guys, what's up? This is Bharat. You're watching iGyaan, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Samsung On7 Prime for 2018. Let's get started. The On7 has just been launched in India for a price of 12,990. The phone will go on sale on the 20th of January and will be available in two variants, the 3GB RAM plus 32GB internal storage variant for 12,990 and the 4GB RAM plus 64GB internal storage variant for 14,990. There are some cashback offers and additional discounts, and I'll leave a link to buy it with those discounts in the description below so you guys can go check it out. The box from the outside is pretty much what you'd expect from a Samsung device. So in terms of look, it's a white box with Samsung branding and basic details are outlined. The first thing inside the box is the phone itself. If you go a little further in, you'll see the documentation and the SIM ejector tool along with warranty information and SAR information. If you go further in, you'll get the USB wall charger. This time around it's a 5V 1.5 amp charger, so you're not getting the kind of fast charging that you get with Samsung adaptive fast charging. You also get a USB cable. In this case it's a USB to micro USB cable because Samsung is sticking with a micro USB connector. Enough about the box. Let's take a look at the phone itself. So over at the front, you'll see the earpiece, which is right next to the camera. The camera is a 13 megapixel f1.9 camera. You also get a screen illuminated flash. So every time you want to take a picture with more light, the screen will turn into a flash. The front camera also captures 1080p video. Now below that is the main display, which is a 5.5-inch LCD display. Now you can see that there is a prominent forehead and a prominent chin in case of Samsung, with several phones now in this price bracket going with an 18:9 aspect ratio. Samsung sticking with the standard 16:9. You do get the advantage of the fingerprint sensor and a physical home button below the screen. So that is definitely a good thing for certain people. And then you also have the multitasking button and the back button. For those who like a more modern design, this phone will probably not cut it. On the bottom of the device is the micro USB port. Again, I feel that companies should completely switch to USB Type-C. You also have the main microphone and the 3.5mm jack, which Samsung will retain. Over at the right is the power button and the main speakerphone, and there's nothing on the top of the device. On the left are the volume buttons, the volume up and the volume down buttons, and below that you'll see the two trays. This phone will accept two SIM cards plus a micro SD card, all of them separately. On the back is a primary 13 megapixel camera, also with an f1.9 aperture. You do get PDAF, which is phase detect autofocus, and you also get LED flash. And just under that you'll see an embossed or an embedded Samsung metal logo and some legal information on the bottom of the backside. That completes the exterior of the phone. It kind of looks like the back cover is removable on this device, but it's actually not. The bottom bit and the top bit are plastic on the back side, which is possibly where all the antennas are housed. So for those who are looking for a more modern design or a unibody design, this phone does not have it. So if we talk about what's inside, you do get the Exynos 7870 chipset with a 1.6 GHz processor, which is an octa-core processor. You also get the Mali T830 MP1 GPU, along with, like I mentioned, either 3 or 4 GB of RAM and 32 or 64 GB of onboard storage. The battery on the phone is a 3300 mAh battery, and with just a simple charge with 5V and 1.5 amps, you can expect to spend upwards of 1.5 to 2 hours to fully charge up this device. Now the display in typical Samsung fashion when you turn on the device is pretty good. You have excellent viewing angles, good color. It does seem to be a little towards the bluish side to my first look. And even despite going into the settings, I've not found any way to tweak up the display at all. The phone does have Bixby, and it also has Samsung Pay Mini, which will allow you to sort of utilize digital payments and not credit card payments on this device, because it seems to be lacking NFC, which the company could have easily added on this phone. Now, the phone is running Android 7.1.1. It also is running Samsung Experience 8.5 at a price of 12,990. The phone seems like a blast from the past. You also have these capacitive buttons below the display, which are not backlit. They're just sort of reflective, so you'll be able to see them in a little bit of light if you just move the phone around a little bit, but because they're not backlit, they're not really usable in pitch dark, which is something that is disappointing at the price bracket that the phone is now available at, with several other phones from different manufacturers now being able to deliver decent specifications. Samsung seems to be bringing in sort of last year's design and last year's specs. Also, this phone, because it's launching in January of 2018, should have been on Android 8, but up until Samsung Galaxy S9 is launched, I feel Samsung will not update any of their devices to Android 8, which is also a little bit of a letdown. The good thing is that the phone does have a 3.5mm headphone jack, so for those who are interested in listening to music, the phone also does have an FM radio inbuilt. You also get your usual set of Samsung applications. Because you're running Samsung UX, you do get Microsoft apps which are pre-installed. You can't also remove them, which is again something that I do not like, but the good thing is that you can disable them, and because you have a dedicated micro SD card slot, you will not be sort of stuck for storage, and those apps will not be using up the crucial storage that you need. Now, as far as the cameras are concerned, on the back is the 13 megapixel f1.9 camera. The camera is, as any Samsung camera, a pretty good camera and should do well in low light environments thanks to the f1.9. What's interesting is that if you swipe over from the right, you do get a few filters, and if you swipe over from the left, you do get a few shooting modes. Now, despite there being a pro mode, you don't get a whole lot of customizations, only ISO, white balance, and exposure value compensation. You do also have a few more shooting modes, and if you go into the settings, you'll find that video capture is limited to 1080p, and the picture size at 13 megapixels is in a 4:3 aspect ratio. So if you want a wide picture, which is a 16:9 picture, you'll have to dumb down the resolution to 9.6 megapixels. Now, the front camera is quite interesting. It has something called a live focus mode on the front camera, which allows you to blur out the background of your image when you click it. It behaves like what the Pixel 2 does, and it's managing to do it pretty well in initial impressions on the On7 Prime. Of course, I'm going to be checking this out in depth later on. The front camera also captures video at 1080p. All in all, the phone seems nice, but the design and the overall feel of the phone seems dated, because we've seen so many phones with a more modern design, a more 18:9 aspect ratio design. Even Samsung's own A8 Plus, which was launched recently, features a really great design. This is something that, like I mentioned, seems like a blast from the past. But if you guys are interested in us checking out this phone in detail, do let us know in the comment section below. Let us know what you would like us to check out, what aspect of this device, and we'll try and get that video out for you. If you like this video, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already a part of Team iGyaan. This has been Bharat. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one.